Hey, good morning, Ravi here. 1 second. All right, so let's look at what's happening in the market. Okay, so this is S&P. So I think just like yesterday, there is quite a bit of a volatility today as well. I think that's definitely given. I don't think market has moved quite significantly from whatever we had seen yesterday. Yesterday, we drew this trend line that is still valid in case if you're online yesterday. I think let's also draw one trend line on the top side so that we will actually, at least we'll have some bit of a confirmation on what is happening. So I'm drawing this for now. So this probably will put as green color. All right, so this trend line is still valid. I think as of now, unless this breaks the top side, we will redraw the trend line. But right now, I believe this is the trend line for today. I think the Nifty tries to take some, do some up move at about 9, I think 10 o'clock, I think. Yeah, 10 o'clock, but then that did not sustain. So right now, this is my view as consolidation zone, and let's see how the things would happen. If you're able to, if I'm audible, can you say yes so that I will not speak more until I get a confirmation? All right, so would wait for the confirmation. I did trade today morning. In fact, yesterday I have exited the weekly options, and then I think about 2 lakhs, 2.3. I think that's what I remember. I did not really check, but today morning I started with a loss of about 2.55 lakhs, and then I think that kind of recovered right now. The reason was yesterday I have exited a lot of these CE positions, so that's where the loss definitely came in. Let me show my trades for now. So these are all the trades that I have, and then I will exclude the stock trades for now. I will come back to them a little later, but right now this is what it is. So as of now, from the trade perspective, 1 second, just to give me, I will post in Twitter. All right, so let's come back. Yeah, so these are all the trades that I have. So I have exited 29,950 CE, and right now I'm at 24,900 CE. I think probably that would confuse a little bit. So this is the weekly expiry trade. I think this probably going up and then down. I think one point of time I saw this going to 1.4 lakhs, but right now anyway, I think Nifty is also recovering. That's okay. I think recovery really doesn't impact me quite a bit. But at this point of time, this is what it is. So this weekly expiry gave about 96, I think. And then as I said, this was almost like 1.3, 1.4 lakhs loss in the morning. But right now, this is kind of recovered. And also I have exited 24,100 PE. And I have also added 25,000 C. I think this probably I will exit because I saw some bit of a downward movement, I thought I will probably do a bit of a hedge for the not hedge, compensating trade for the monthly expiry. That's what which I did. Right now, this is what it is. So I will in fact, in case, let's say, if this also becomes green, this particular PE, I will exit the CE, and then obviously these two, because anyway I have a compensating CE position here. So right now Nifty alone, these are all the trades. It might confuse a little bit because it's a kind of a calendar spread. It's a skewed calendar spread, not the pure play calendar spread. So right now, as I mentioned earlier, I do have, I think I was also showing the Greeks yesterday. This is below 500 at this point of time. What does this mean is, obviously if Nifty goes up, I will actually be losses. That's what it shows. If it is positive, then it's other way. The reason is I do have a skewed positions on the CE side. That's the only reason. Unless there is some bit of a um, cool down here, this will not become zero. But right now I think it's okay. I can manage. So my thinking is, as of now, if Nifty crosses or the touches 24700, that's where I will do some adjustments. But otherwise, I think I will just leave with this trade for now. The adjustment would be drastically, I will get into deep into PE, but right now I'm not planning to make any changes. So this is, as I said, this is monthly expiry. I will in fact exit the CE trade if this also becomes green, which means that obviously market is going up a little bit. So I have exited this particular trade for 53,000, as I explained earlier. So this is what it is for now. And weekly, I think, is doing quite well. This is a overnight position. Yesterday I have entered, and then today morning also I did some trades, and then it gave about 4 lakhs, I think, sorry, 1.5, I think. And and then I moved to a bit more little closure thing. And Bank Nifty straightforward, I did not touch this trade from yesterday. It is kind of moving here and there, but right now I would not be touching anything. I think probably I'll talk about the CDSL. Yesterday I did the CDSL, and I also added some more positions here. I think this is an important trade. The reason was this was hedging against my portfolio as well. I wanted to, uh, in case if CDSL falls, which actually did, I wanted to really cover the losses. So the reason I took the CDSL trade yesterday, if you're not part of the live trade yesterday, yesterday's CDSL had hit the over. I think there is again. I think there are some fat finger trades here again. All right. Anyway, let's come back to this one. So yesterday I was saying, in case if so let's look at the RSI, right? So in case if you did not see the trade yesterday. So RSI was kind of peak yesterday in the daily RSI. So this is where I felt it's going to really come back and fall back. That's what which happened today. That's the reason I took this 19,600 this position, which is kind of all-time high. I would have probably taken 1900 also, but I thought it's going to be close call. So as of now, CDSL is doing good. I hope this would give some profits. And also yesterday I had started with 2 lots or 1 lot, I think. But right now I'm at 10 lots, and then I think it's probably might be a good trade. The reason is there is also massive resistance at this place 1900. So in case if really stays below this, I think it's absolutely all right. I think I have coverage till 1988, which is another how many 6% from here, which I think the probability of CDSL going by 6% by month end, I think the probability is very low. Anyway, this is actually showing about 75%. So technically the probability of this going and then hitting here is about 25%, which I think is low. Let's see what happens. So that's it. That is the CDSL trade. And Asian Paints, again, I wanted to see some kind of a recovery, which I think did not happen. It pretty much stayed at zero. So as of now, if I go with this trade is straightforward. I just sold the CE at 2440. Mostly by this month, and it will not really happen. That's the thinking. But this is basically this is on the RSI side. This is on the lower side again. I think if I show the RSI here. All right, so RSI, let's go to the daily. Yeah, I think this probably some kind of recovery. I'm not sure, but RSI was quite low. It's basically 25 kind of thing. It in fact reached the bottom about 14%. So 14. I thought it's going to be some bit of a buying interest there, which I think probably my assumption may not be absolutely accurate at this point of time. So the reason I did not see much of a buying interest there at this point of time. But let's see. And then we also have a few other trades. And Bajaj Finance, I think it's difficult to explain because there are too many trades here. But right now, I think it is in profits, I think. Bajaj Finance also, it's kind of at the lower side of the RSI. As of now, I think pretty much all the trades are okay. I'll probably skip that. But Reliance is important. Reliance, because I had put to so much. But Reliance, I'm okay with this loss at this point, because yesterday I have exited the CE. I made about 55,000, I think, and yeah, that's where I came back to. I also have exited today some of the CE trades here, which is 30th January 1400 CE, and then the 26th January 1340 CE. And then right now, let's look at this. Also might be confusing. There are too many trades here. So 1330 CE, that's where I'm here right now. And if this trade goes well, I think it will give us about 8% from the, again, got another, how many days left? We got about 16 days left. If I exclude the non-trading days, I think probably it will come to about 12 or 12 days, I think. And then I think Reliance is going to be a little complicated to manage. The 30th January is the critical one. I have exited one trade, which is 1400 CE with 97,000 profit, which is close to a lakh. But right now, I'm expecting this is going to be somewhere between, and then I try to adjust a little bit with the CE position and the Reliance. Where is Reliance? Yeah, yeah. And then finally, we have just this one. This is basically the expectation is that this will not go. This will not go below 1200 p, and also I bought 1 p. The reason I bought 1 p, I mean the below this one, I can't see there are. I see there are no trades at all, so I thought I'll at least buy 1 p in case as a hedge. So that's the reason. I think those are all the trades that I have right now. Let me take any questions. For now, for today, we will not focus on the will not focus on the stock options, but we will focus on the index options. Very good morning again. If at all you joined a bit late, but these are all my trades at this point of time. I think, as I said, Nifty, I started with a loss of about because of yesterday's exits, right? So I'll start with the loss of about 1.6 lakhs, I think. Yesterday, I have exited the CE with close to 2.4 or 2.5 lakhs. So that's the reason there is the CE again. I have exited today morning. Those are all the trades at this point of time. So I think that this weekly expiry, as of now, there is a strong resistance at 1 second. There is a strong resistance at 24,700. Let's look at the open interest. All right. I think if you can see here, right? So there is a strong resistance at 24,700. I think but then I think the expiry trades we can now trust it. So last week also we had a strong resistance at 24,500, and then it comprehensively broken left and then right. So we need to be a bit careful. That's all. So that's the reason I'm staying a bit far from the ATM. So ATM close to this one, 24,650, and right now I'm pretty much here, so it's little far. But then I do have heavy loaded positions there. In case if there is a massive up move, I might see some losses, but then I have a compensating positions here, so I would not be much worried at all. I just said if this also becomes green, I will exit the CE for now. That's the plan at this point of time. And obviously, if this stays in the red, if also this goes green, I think that's all right. Rahul, I think I do not draw a line, but then sometimes some weeks I lost 5% also. But then I try to limit to 2 to 3%. But then sometimes there is going to be slippage. You just can't anything. But yeah, some days I had hit. Some weeks I had hit 5% as well. But we can't do much. I think that's the trade. I know non-expiry days. I think this is the trend line for me at this point of time. This anyway we drew yesterday. I don't think this has broken, at least at this point of time. And what else? Yeah, this is the top trend line. I think let's keep an eye on this. And right now I see some red candle, but I think there is a massive volatility like yesterday. That's I don't know whether you need to be feeling happy or bad, but that's what the reality. I think stocks I'm okay, Rahul. So there is the reason, right? I'll answer that question, Rahul Nag, in a minute. Or in Mumbai, no, sir. I'm actually based out of Bangalore. Prakash Bandekar, trading psychology. I think the trading psychology. There is a book. I think I did read some books on, let's say, day trading and other things. But I think what ultimately I found was it's all the discipline. I think all of us know, right, what is put, what is call, when it is going to go up, when it is going to go down. I think it's all about how do you cut down the losses. I think same thing. It's not like I'm an expert in this one, right? Well, I make some money here and there, but then thing is, uh, I think it's sometimes you get tempted when, especially when you're in losses, right? You just wanted to recover, and that's where you tend to do more mistakes. I think at the end of the day, it's a discipline, in my view. But I think there are a lot of books you can read. I can probably Rahul ping me in Twitter. I can probably pass on some books. And Trading in the Zone is one book that I liked. There is, I think I also recommended one more book called, one more book by Darvas. I forgot the name. It's basically how I made 2 million or 1 million from trading. I think that is one. And then there are a few other books as well. How do you? No, I did not. So I did write one Python program earlier, Prakash. So, but then that is not to do with the indicators. That is to do with the probability model. But right now I'm not running. The reason was probability model. It stopped working this year, at least. Last year it was okay. Technically, probability model is you would actually look at what extent Nifty can actually move in that week or month, and then you put across your strategies. But currently, with a lot of volatility, you get to have both C and then P hit, right? So, and then you lose money. That's the problem. So that is, my view is not working. And this one, okay, all right. So yeah, I think it's risky, but then we'll have to take some risk. So it's not like they'll get into unlimited losses. I'm sure I'll probably lose in case, let's say, just for the argument's sake, let's go back to some of the trades that I did. Um, let's talk about, let's say, CDSL, for instance, right? So CDSL, anyway, it's one-sided now. And this is basically CU only. Let's say, look at, I mean, this probably is not a great example, but I'll still explain this, right? So the rationale of taking this. So CDSL, anyway, I have the underlying. So I do have the stocks. I own the stocks in my portfolio. The essence is, let's say, if it goes to, let's say, this place, for instance, let's say 10% from now overnight, whatever happens. So I'm going to get into a loss of about 1.87 lakhs. But then my portfolio would compensate, if not all the 1.87, it will definitely compensate good amount of money. So I think it's I do have good amount of stocks there. So this is fine. So this is absolutely no risk. The reason is I do have the underlying. So I will use this as like a covered call. I think covered call, I think most of you would know. It's basically you own the underlying stocks and then you just sell the CE. In case if the market or the stock falls, you would make money from the options, or in case if the stock goes up, you will make money in the stock, but you will actually lose money in the options. So it will actually negate with each other. You'll not get into massive losses. Probably, as I said, that is not a great example, but let's look at Reliance. Reliance is probably appropriate. So Reliance, what would happen is, let's say if it falls overnight, just for the argument's sake, if it falls. So the overnight, if it falls by, let's say, I can't go beyond this, I think, 1 second. Let's take this one. I think this is again a CE call, so this is not a great example. But let's look at this one, January call, right? So let's suppose if it goes by, let's say 5% down, whatever, some war happens. I think this is still 3.4 lakhs loss. I think that's okay, that I can accommodate much. The reason is I'm using very small margin on this, right? So I'm left with some other margin, so I'll be able to really adjust it. So if you really look at, I did not put a lot of money in the stock options. It's a negligible amount. If you take even Asian Paints, it's just 10 lakhs here, right? So even in case if it goes quite drastically down, let's say 5% down, it's okay. I'll be able to manage. It's like 1 lakh loss and whatever. So I think that way, I think it's okay. And a lot of my money is in the this place, stock indices actually. So I think what is happening with the Nifty, I'm not even watching. Let's look at the Nifty. All right, I think let's declutter this a little bit. All right, I think that's the Bollinger Bands will remove. So right now, 30 minutes is still green. I think it is probably owing towards some bit of a bearishness. Let's see. I'm not sure what is the advanced decline today. Let me also check that. So Nifty, we got 22 versus. I think it's kind of balanced right now. Not much of a significant moves, except Infosys is in green, and then you have Bajaj Finserv. I think few stocks are in green, but I think majority of the other stocks are not doing so great. I think that's okay. That's when I think it's 22 versus 28. So I think if it is probably goes to, let's say 15 below, and then 35 on the red side, I think we need to be a bit cautious. That's all. All right, so let's again come back to Nifty now. I think this is, as of now, we got another 3 minutes. I think most it will end here, and then this will probably become a bearish candle. That's what I think. Let's see. All right, so let's take some questions here. I think to answer this question, I'm actually writing something code, Prakash. Maybe that will be ready a little later. But I'm also not getting time to do that. It's basically using Python. So I'll let you know in case if I'm able to do it. But in case if I build an algo, I'll give it for free. Nothing to worry. So which indicator use? I'll explain that. Sai ready. What are I think it's indices I'm using right now. Obviously, this is a price action, the trend line that you see. So right now I'm using only one indicator, I think. Sorry, two indicators to be honest. So one is this one, which is volumetric. It's called Vidya, VIDYA. This I found reasonably good. The reason is it also gives this volume thing, right? So where what is the delta volume, buy versus sell. I think this is probably, I think it's futures. That's what I think, but I might be wrong. Or futures or options, I'm not sure. But then it gives some volume, and reasonably that is good. And then the second one is this one, which is I think I had shown this earlier. It's basically I forgot it's linear weighted moving average, and then it is HCL 3 10 10. This is also mostly working. In fact, I was using this for commodities, and then commodities technically, I think out of all the 4 times, it worked all the 4 times. I'll also explain uh, how I use that in a moment. And then there is a Bollinger Bands. I think it's more of a double confirmation, but right now I have disabled it. The reason is it's looking too cluttered. So I will tell you a small way to do the scalping. This is not probably applicable for the long term move, right? So this is basically the scalping. If you are able to see my screen, so this is 30 minutes, and then this is 3 minutes. This is 3 minutes, and then the ideally the in order for you to take a position, this got to be a confirmation candle. So right now, let's wait for this one. I'll explain another 50 seconds. I think it will probably get over, and then we will probably get a red confirmation. That's what I think. So it's basically if this candle, 30 minutes candle is below this line, we can always say that it's a bearish market. And on top of that, if this also is below this red line, we can consider it as a bearish. You can actually, if somebody is doing a scalping, if they are buyers, they would buy the put option. If they are sellers, they will sell the call option below this. And then this is a scalping, right? Obviously, you need to have the stop loss somewhere here, this line or whatever. And then that's it. That way you will not be able to lose a lot of money. Let's wait for a few minutes and then see if it is actually working or not. A few seconds rather, not minutes. So I'm expecting the next 30 minutes candle is going to be red because there is too much of a gap there. It's 12 hours. So 12 o'clock now. So yeah, this is officially a bearish candle. So right now somebody can take a put trade here, but then they can also wait to touch this and then go back. Let's see if at all there is an opportunity. But right now, the trade is somebody has to buy put. But right now, I'm not doing anything because mine is a positional. Let's see if this is going to work. I tried to do some time pass trades on the commodity evening when I get bored, just for 10-15 minutes. And as I said, it mostly worked for commodities. So ideally, if it touches here, it will take a reversal signal, assuming that this is also in the bearish mode. Let's see. But you need to wait for the candle to get over, not to get into hurry. Let's take some questions. No, Prabhu. I think Amit did a fantastic job. So I think I will not create. I feel it's a good tool. It's not worth to recreate something better than that. What's your guess where Nifty ATM straddle close today? Currently 247. Okay, let me do check that once. Rahul Nag, and I am also based out of Bangalore. I trade with the capital of 1 crore. Until last month, I was trading using algo expiry trading, but now I'm shifting the position. What do you suggest me? Rahul, we can catch up if you're in Bangalore. We can discuss over the lunch or dinner. But I think the currently expiry trades are quite volatile. And in fact, I saw the news yesterday or today early morning when I was reading something, right? So SEBI chose to do some investigation on what happened on last Thursday. Again, I do not know whether that news is truth. And yeah, as you can see, right, there was some bit of a downturn here. That's what I was saying earlier. It did not touch exactly this point, but usually that's what which happens. I mean, again, this is a scalping, right? You can't really, ideally would take the buy call here and then put buy here, and then you would exit within the next 3 minutes or so. That's the only thing that you will do, because scalping, you will not wait for a long time. But anyway, let's come back to Mr. Rahul. Yeah, I think that's the reason I also changed to kind of a positional trades, right? So because the expiry trades become quite unmanageable. So this gave technically 30 about about 10 points. I think that's all, not much. Someone high up lost money, hence SEBI decided to maybe I'm not sure, but I think at least I know when I posted in Twitter, somebody said that do not complain when you can't compete with the mathematicians. That's not about the maths, but that's a manipulation. If somebody trades in the options, they would know. So absolutely. So I think the thing is, I think most of you would know, right? So FIAs are allowed to do both stocks and derivatives, and DAs are not allowed to do derivatives. And the second one is FIAs, they do not pay they actually pay on the FNO income, they pay this one, capital gains, it's not treated as a business income for them. So technical FIAs are always at the upper hand, and also obviously they have a lot of money. So that's what which happened. DAs, unfortunately, they can't do options, right? So they absolutely can't play. So pro traders, what happens is, while they can manipulate a little bit, but then my view, the money that they carry can't beat FIS. So they can't mostly manipulate the market. Pro traders, they just need to follow the market. Maybe to some extent they can manipulate, but then not to the extent of FIS. My view. Again, this is my view. What is your mid cap Nifty select? Oh, good thing that you called. I was actually thinking today morning I should do one strangle there. I will probably do later today. Uh, I think probably yes. But then you need to be open for the adjustments and then not to put a lot of money. I'm in fact planning to do one strangle. We'll probably do that in the live. Classic calendar spread is good strategy for monthly. I think it's definitely a good strategy, Tulasi. I think we'll have to keep an eye. The reason is I think from January you will lose the margin benefit. I think so. You need to really weigh on if you lose the margin benefit, for example, you buy something and then you sell something, or the sell obviously need to have additional hedges. So you need to look at probably some of the returns might be little low. So that's a possibility. But right now, I think if at all you joined a bit late, my strategy is very simple. I'm not even, as you can see, I'm not even monitoring nowadays. So let's look at what is happening with the Nifty. So what I did was, in case if we joined a bit late into this one, so I sold. This is basically mostly PE heavy, while I have some CE here, but that is more of a consolation CE because it's market is falling. I just thought I'll do. And by the way, I have exited yesterday. This also about. I think probably 90,000, I think. And then today also I've exited with 53,000. That's the reason you got to see some negative here. But otherwise, overall, if I calculate that, this would have been probably about probably 2 lakhs profit at this point of time. But anyway, so the strategy here is I would actually do PE on the monthly expiry and then the CE on the weekly expiry. That's all. That's the no rocket science strategy. And as of now, I exited this with 1.5. For yesterday also, I have exited like 2 lakhs, I think. So overall, this gave about close to 3 lakhs. I think 4 lakhs for now. This week. So I'm going to stay on this, but then if I go individually, what happens is it shows that this is basically 6.75. But then I also need to look at the open interest rate. So open interest right now 24,700 seems to be quite stronger resistance, but we never know. I was saying earlier, even 24,500 was broken quite left and right, so you need to be a bit careful. That's all. So if I combine these two strategies, this is what the payoff chart would look like. And also, most importantly, if you go to Greeks and this, I want to keep it below 500. Right now, it is okay. I think 416. I think that's all that I'll be able to manage. And theta, it says 3.43, which is again good. The reason is when is expiry is tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, right? So I think theta is good, and then delta is ideally it got to be 0. But right now, in order for this to become 0, my P is got to be coming a lot more closer. Right now, this is a bit of heavy loaded, right? So that's the reason I have added this one earlier because this was little on the negative side. So I think those are all the trades that I have, and also Bank Nifty. This is a fire and forget trade. This is a one-sided one, directional. In case if it falls, I'll get about 49, and then in case if it crosses the all-time high, I will get into losses. That's where I'll probably exit at some point of time. But right now, Bank Nifty all-time high is 54. 450 or 554 500, I think 54 450, that's what I remembered. So in case if it reaches somewhere here, I'll have to look at the plan is, let's say in case if it reaches here, just for the argument's sake, right? So I will go on then sell these call options. This anyway, it's very small quantity, right? I'll go on and sell some, let's say 50 or whatever. So then I think you will get extension of the all-time high, right? So you'll be able to save money there. So this trade, I will not let to get into negatives, at least, especially. I think that's all. Those are all the trades that I have. And then let's look at, I did explain some of these stock-based trades, but right now, I think it will be repetition if you're there in the stream from the beginning. I think CDSL, I'm more interested right now. CDSL, by the way, the premiums are quite lucrative. Mainly, I think this probably added into FNO this month, I think. That's what I remember. That's the reason probably there is a lot of interest. This trade, as of now, for 6.18 lakhs, it is giving 14. My plan is in case, let's say in case, I will explain the adjustment that I want to do. In case if, where is this? CDSL. Yeah, in case if this again reaches about this place 1900, I wanted to do, I will probably, where is CDSL? My idea is to, in case if it reaches 1900, let's say tomorrow it reaches, let's put it tomorrow, or maybe Friday it reaches, just for the argument's sake. Friday it reaches, let's say 1900. Now with that time what happens is I will still be in the profit, but that point of time I will actually add some more call options here. I know values won't be same as this one. I'll probably add another 20 or so. Then we can actually extend this also on the top side. So it will go till 10% that point of time. So that's the plan right now, but right now I'm not going to touch it. All right, I think those are all the trades, and happy to take any questions. So yeah, I think this is a very good question, right? So let me explain my thought process, and happy to take your feedback as well. So overall, I do believe, because Nifty, let's look at the Nifty journey, right? So where is yeah, so let's look at Nifty. This is 1-day chart. So 1-day chart, this is technically this particular indicator, right, is showing it as green, which means that if not very bullish, it won't really fall below these levels, right? So the bottom it can go till this is what which I think is a good support. This basically, I think most of you know, right? So this is basically the expiry sell off. Otherwise it would have probably expired somewhere here. If not, there is an expiry. This was on Thursday, November 29th. So let's say I would expect this is the right level for Nifty to fall, which is about 23,300 or 200 or whatever. But right now this indicator actually showing a bit of a bullishness. So this is for the day. This is the daily chart, right? So for month, daily chart is absolutely all right. So that's the reason I went on to put. In fact, last week also I did this, but then last week what happened was there was a massive up move by Nifty from this date, right? So I ended up losing some money, and also this particular candle caused quite a bit of an impact. So, but I'm trying to do the same thing this month also. Sorry, this week as well. So while this is P is bullish, but if I go and then look at this is 3 minutes, but probably if I put 1 hour candle here. So as of now, if you look at 1 hour, right? So there was this is basically anyway trapping the manipulation candle. So we can't really consider this as the candle at all. So this is where it is. And then if you remember, all of you, last week 24,500 seems to be a great resistance. But however, if that is broken, there is a high probability that 24,500 would be resistance this time on the bottom side. But right now, from let's say from Thursday, it really did not cross this level, which is let's say Friday it got open, but then there is pretty much massive resistance here. I do believe it probably will not cross. There is one more rationale for this, and these are all, I think, technically, these are all called three crows or three soldiers, right? So there was some bit of a downturn, and then you have one big green candle, and I believe it actually pretty much reached the consolidation level. That's the reason CE there. And one more reason is, if you go back to open interest, for, let's say, Nifty, there is a massive resistance at this particular place. And also, I'm not expecting these manipulators again to come back this week, because they do not do 2 alternate weeks manipulation. So I, in fact, originally started somewhere here. I will also explain my original strategy was very different. I'll probably do a fresh trade and fresh dummy trade rather. So my original strategy was very different. So I tried to do this over the weekend. So this was basically, this is my original strategy. I think it will be, this is monthly, and I will sell, let's say, 100, and then I will buy 100 here. And then this is kind of a PE monthly, and then now on top of that I will do weekly. This is weekly, and then I will go on and do heavy loaded. But right now this is probably doesn't give us much of a benefit. The reason is market has moved on, right? So let's do this one. Let's do 100 here, and then we'll also buy some hedge here. It's a more of a dummy hedge for the. So this is what it is. This, in fact, as I said, I want to do not this one, but let's show the original trade that I wanted to do. Yeah, this one. So technically, if you look at this trade, right, on the downside there is absolutely no risk. Sorry, upside there is no risk. In case if the market moves here and there, you are not much worried at all. And then downside obviously have the risk, but the downside risk, how you will be able to manage? You'll be able to manage with, let's say, let's look at the 26th December trades. So downside, let's say if market goes to, let's go to this date, 12th December. And then the market goes to, let's say, 24,500. So now we were actually in the losses of about 2.6 lakhs here. But however, you will be able to gain that from the this particular. I think there is a massive fall in the Nifty, but I'm not much worried. That's fine. We'll deal with that later. So that is what it is here. So that is the trade. So right now, I mean, obviously, you need to, this really doesn't give a lot of money here, but then I had a larger quantity that point of time. So that's what it is. Let's look at what is happening to Nifty now. Let's get it off for these trades. All right. So Nifty, there is a heavy fall, which means that the PE would have been impacted definitely. And then the CE obviously would have made some money, which is okay. So let's look at if it is a false fall or not. So this is the good thing, right? With suppose if I had PE on the both, sorry, CEP and the same expiry, by this time I would have been a bit worried. But right now I think it's okay. You'll be able to manage quite a bit, so there is nothing to be worried. And this actually, this is a good way to, what is it, hedge against the false, right? So that is also important. I'm not sure which actually fell down. Let's look at what caused the fall. HDFC. I think HDFC probably would have fell down. All right, I think this is what which was manipulated or fell down. I think Reliance also was sold off. Anyway, these guys, whoever is doing, they would buy they do the baskets, not individual stocks. I think it's probably coming back, so nothing to worry. But however, I think the good news is this particular CE position gave me some good money. I'll see if I can probably exit that for now and then enter a little later. I'll have to see if this is a false fall. That's the only thing that I need to check. How do you check this? I think the volume would give some bit of a indication. Let's look at volume. Let's look at 1 minute. I think it's a definitely sizable volume. It's 45K in a minute, and also there is a immediate recovery. So probably if somebody had stop losses, they would have definitely lost some money. That's fine. As I said, I'm not much worried and monitoring. So okay, this is slowly coming back, but that's fine. So right now, I think the CE alone would have given some good money. If you take CE, it gave about 1.97. And I'm left with a good amount of capital. I can always manage that. And right now, PE is, I think, 1.83. That's all it. So yesterday, as I said, I got about 2.4. So that is still will compensate automatically. There is nothing to worry about it. All right. So let's look at some questions. And I think if we have underlying strangles, probably may not be a wise idea, Rahul. Maybe you might want to do a covered call. That, but the covered call, I think probably the easiest one. But strangles, what happens is, let's say if you see this kind of situation, right, whatever happened just now, you will you will lose a lot of money there. That's the only challenge that you have. I mean, if you want to strangles, you're going to be really careful and then good with the adjustments, but otherwise you will end up losing money. That's the only. But covered call is the probably the easiest one. What about Sensex expert in coming days? Can we expect any volume increase so that we can do to position? I think Sensex last week, I think the volumes are definitely higher. I think there is a confirmation fall in Nifty. I think that's okay. We'll deal with this. Probably I will move my. Is there any change in the weeks? Let me just check. It's actually fell down. So this is the massive fall for today, and yeah, I think we'll deal with it. That's okay. Let me put one. I think it probably broke the today's low. So this trend line got broken. So we should probably exclude that for now. So today's low was. This is 15 minutes. Let's put 1 hour. Yeah, today's low was this one. So it got broken definitely. Handsomely broken. So let's also put a alert here, which is the lower low for today. All right, so let's me take some questions. I think, yeah, as I said, Sensex, the volumes have increased, especially the last week, because there is, I think people probably did not find any other things to trade, right? So what is this? HSR hotel is good. I'm not sure. How do you check high IV stocks for SSO? Or oh, I think that's easy. I'll tell you. What is SSO? High IV stocks you can actually find here if you go to screeners. So this you can actually sort it out. So right now ATM IV for Manappuram gold is quite high. So suppose if you chain. So let's do high IV stocks. What happens is you will have higher premiums. So let's do Manappuram gold, right? So where can I option chain and app? Okay, all right. So let's do, for example, if you do a straddle here, this is just an example. Yeah, Manappuram. 26th December. But I think this is very highly illiquid stock. So generally, if you do a straddle here, right, it's actually showing 25%. And just look at the percentage. That's what which is important. And then if you go to let's say low IV, which is Nifty straddle. $591. So this is giving 8%. So that's the difference. So for the same expiry, right? So Nifty is giving 8% versus Manappuram Gold is giving 25%. So that's the high IV. You can actually sort here, and you need to really look at what this IV chain and IVP also. That will give you some good sense of where to what stocks you can actually select and then do. So right now I have trades on CDSL. CDSL IV is 39. I think it's off of this one at this point of time. I think still it is higher, but I think that risk that I took anyway. All right. So what is happening with the trades? So Nifty has fallen, but then it's kind of, I think, recovering at this point of time. I think at one point of time we had about a lakh. I think right now it's because of the fall it kind of gone, but that's all. The only thing is um, I'm not much worried. So I know it will get recovered, and also there is a good amount of cash left to do the. Let's see if I can always come back to bit closure on the CE side. So CE as of now, as you can see, right? So it gave today 1.54 lakhs, and this is 1 lakh again. If I remove the hedge, but yesterday also it got about 2 lakhs. So overall, I think it's as of now, it's a profitable trade. So let's see. So this is basically let's look at what can happen to this trade, right? So this is absolutely covered for another 1.6% fall from here. However, if you go back to open interest, so there is a good resistance 24500, and then there is also massive resistance 2400. Let's say the worst case scenario we need to think through when you're trading. Let's say if it goes to 24, what would happen? Let's say it goes to 24. It will actually give us a loss of about 17 lakhs by the time. Probably 17 lakhs. Uh, I will not make profit, but I will not get into losses. At least if it goes to that kind of a level. Because it's again against the strategy, right? So I'll have to do heavy loaded CE, and I get 3 opportunities to probably make about 6 or 7 lakhs until the expiry. So that's the thinking right now. So that's the reason there is nothing to worry. Manappuram is in ban probably because of the high IV. Let's look at yeah, it is in ban right now, so you can't do much. You're right. Bandhan, Manappuram granules. I think it's because of probably a lot of people would have traded. So that's the reason. I think that's a good call, Kapil Karwa. No, so I do not select. I mean, I do not select on the IV. The only 2 parameters that I saw this time was because IV because IV, what happens, right? So it's basically IV is high because of the volatility is high. It's a highly risky trade versus I wanted to trade on something where I'm comfortable to trade, and at least I have some logical thinking on trading. If my thinking becomes absolutely wrong, that's okay. At least I'll probably blame myself, saying that hey, my thinking was wrong. I'm not sure what time you joined. Suppose I'll talk about the way why I did the CDSL yesterday, right? So CDSL, I think this is probably a classic example. I did not really look at the IV, but it's more of a thinking that I had yesterday. Let me again explain in case if you joined a bit late in the day. So CDSL, if you go to the this one, right? So why this? I think I need to change the indicator. I need to save it, I think. Already saved. So if you look at CDSL, right? Yesterday, if I go back to um, 1 day chart, yesterday the RSA was quite high. It's about 79 or 80. I felt, and also I think if you're familiar with the um, if you're familiar with the uh, candle candlestick patterns, right? This is technically, if you take these three, there is no four white soldiers. So this is if you take even these three, this is like three white cross or white soldiers, right? So that is one pattern. And second one is the RSA is high. So that's where I felt it's going to really fall. And the second reason I wanted to sell this is I also have the underlying CDSL stock. So I wanted to really protect that profits in case if the stock falls. That was the only reasoning. I did not really look at the IV and other things. But right now, I think it is paid. And third reason is open interest. If you look at the open interest of CDSL, we had heavy calls written at 1900. That is also one more reason. One second. All right. So I think those are all the three reasons that I took the CDSL trade. Same with the Bajaj Finance as well. Bajaj Finance is also bottom side of the uh, RSI. I thought there is going to be some recovery. And say Asian Paints also same reason, bottom side of the recovery. Reliance is a bit tricky. Reliance is actually, if you look at the last 1 month, right, or probably last 3-4 months, it is pretty much hovering in certain range. Let's look at the Reliance. So the top obviously reached about 1600, which is if you multiply that with earlier, it got to that splitter bonus, right? So 32,000 or whatever. But right now, after that, once this is gone, right? So this is basically 1500, and then the bottom side was the 1200. I do think it's probably over between 1400 to 1200. That's the assumption as of now. I might be wrong, but then somewhere we need to take a call, right? So that's what which I did here. And also, if you look at Reliance, if you look at Reliance open interest, Reliance open interest. I think this month is kind of it's hovering between at this level 1300. Even after the recovery, it did not really cross this level. I'm guessing Reliance probably will expire below 1300. Right now, I do have a call at 13,300, I think, which is a just a sell call, short call. And then if you take the 30th January, this is also hovering at this level. So that's the reason I took some trades. Let's see how it's going to happen. So, all right. So let's come back to our trade. So let me take some more questions. So long term on Nifty is always bullish. Hey Srinath, the live is 43, price close to 52 weeks, and call I be very strong analysis oversold thought. Okay, let's look at Angel one. I never traded on the Angel one, so let's see. I'm not sure if this also came in recent FNO. So let's start with the chart alone first to start with. There is one day. I think it's pretty much followed the similar pattern of CDSL, except CDSL had one more strong green here. I think this is also 3 white crows or white soldiers, and there is a fall here. And then is this a all-time high for Angel? It is not. I think the only one thing is CDSL probably it was all-time high, but not Angel. Let's look at CDSL again. Yeah, I think CDSL it was all-time high. That is also one more exception for CDSL versus Angel. It wasn't all-time high. So I think that probably would act some bit of a showstopper, but I think that's right. So I think this one 35,000, 3,500 seems to be definitely a good resistance. But let's see, even if we skip that and then go till 35. Um, 30, 37, let's say. I think this is also might be a good trade. You still got, while it's not a lucrative money, but let's see, even if somebody does a spread here, 2.1. No, let's do a triangle. This probably is a trade value. I think the Nifty is falling. Okay, let's do some adjustments there. 24547 24. Okay, that's fine. So this could be a trade, my view, because you do not have a downward downside risk, but on the top side you have. But then it's basically another 8% up, right? So the probability of this going 8% is quite low. Let's do some adjustments to my trade. So I would be losing money on the PE for sure, but I will gain money on the CE, and I will add some more trades on the C. So let me share my trade flow. So this gave definitely good money. The reason is there is a massive fall. I have two options now. If I look at let me look at the chart and then take a call whether it's going to be recovering or it's going to fall drastically. So we had the manipulation candle is at about 24,523 or the 1 second, let me put some 24,523. Then I'm just looking at the open interest. If there is any change, there is not much of a change. That's good news. Okay, I think this is all fine. So I think looks like 24,700. So right now, what I will do is I will actually exit this trade for now. I will enter one more in a moment. So I did only, I will do till 9,000, and then I will see in case if there is a recovery, I will keep adding here. But for now, I think this is fine. All right. So I'm actually selling in case if there is a recovery, I will sell it bit at the higher prices. So that's the thinking right now. 1 month view on, I think 1 month view, it's straightforward, right? So 1 second. Next month view. I think there are two ways we can see this. One thing is obviously the charts we can see. The second one is we can also see the open interest. The two things that we can do. So if I look at the open interest, PCR is 0.7. Obviously, there is a heavy loaded support at 24,500. Also, you have some good support at 24,000. So these are the two places that we think one of these places it would probably expire. On the bottom side, and the top side, obviously you have a good resistance at 25,000. I think I'm not sharing the screen right now. Let me share that. All right. So if you look at this, there is definitely some bit of a resistance here, and then there is, you also have the you have the support here. You also have the support here. You have the resistance here, but below that, it's not going to really go below. I think that's what I think, but we never know. So I think if you look at 19th December also, there is a good amount of support here. There is a good amount of resistance here. I think 25,000, going above 25,000, my view, the chances are very low. But I think this also seems to be quite a bit of a support here. I think we can also look at the Sensex to get some good sense. What could be the move? Sensex PCR also pretty much remains same, and also you see heavy loaded resistance at 83,000. That could be equivalent to 25,000 in the Nifty side. So and then Sensex, technically there is no other support on the bottom, which is a bit alarming. But also Sensex is not very widely traded, right? So we'll not be able to trust that fully. So interestingly, if you look at 20th December, there is a support at 81,000. This could be 25,000, sorry, 24,500 in Nifty. And then 13th December, there is heavy loaded support at 81,500 here. So, but as I said, Sensex is not widely traded, right? So we'll not be able to really trust it fully. But right now, I think my view, anything below 25,000, I think probably is most appropriate, but bottom we never know. So let's look at even the probability, right? So if you just sell the 26th December and then let's say 20, this one, it's about 77% probability. So that's what it says. Let's see what's going to happen. All right. So I think the trade is in losses for now, which is on the Nifty side. The reason was PE got massively impacted while we made some money on the CE side. But that's all right. So as of now, on the CE side, what I did, let me stop the screen and then present again. So CE side, I did sell the 24,800 CE, which would actually probably compensate with the losses in case if the market doesn't come back, but generally it will come back. And then the second one is I also have some conditions here in case if the market reverses or the falls bit more, I will be able to buy some more quantity. So let's say I'll put about 36 here, and then I will do 36,000, 36, couple of lots. So this is basically compensate some of the losses that potentially will have. So I know one of you asked, right? So what is the advantage of doing the monthly versus, sorry, monthly PE versus weekly? Today, if I did the weekly on the PE, it would have probably I would have got into massive losses. But right now, because uh, I have some more time to react, there is nothing to worry. All right, I think that's the I think I did answer Srinath's question. Yeah, I think I did answer Pratap's question also. Let's see if I missed anything. Rajesh, I think Rajesh probably I think referring to the dinner that we had. So I think that was okay hotel. I did not like it, to be honest. I did not like the food. It's actually a restaurant, not a hotel. All right, so I think let's look at what is happening. So PE, we'll have to, as I said, we'll have to now see how do we manage the PE. I think still it's okay. I think I would be very worried if it goes below. Nifty goes below 50, 24, 500 actually. So let's see if it stays above that. I think I'm okay. But if it goes below that, I need to be a bit cautious on how do I manage that. But as I said, there is plenty of time to react. So there's nothing to worry. All right. So what is time now? I will be online till 1 o'clock. After that, I will take some rest from live stream. And also because it's not an expiry rate, nothing substantial would happen on the trades. So here I have put only two conditions. One is if it goes below 36, maybe I'll put 38 because I need to compensate the losses on the PE. So, and also if it goes to 50, I will still sell some more again with an assumption that it's going to fall back, hopefully. The reason, right, there is a heavy loaded resistance at 24,000. In fact, I can also do 124,700. All right, so let's see this. So I have two call positions now. So one is 24,700, one more is 24,800. And this would actually compensate the losses that are on the PE side. So okay, this is actually getting into some kind of losses, which is good because it PE would gain from now. Let's see. So PE right now 3.2 lakhs losses. Uh, yeah, as I said, I would be very worried if Nifty goes below 24,500. But right now, I think it is still hovering around there. So that way it is okay. So right now, I would not be putting any stop losses to this one. The reason is there is PE, there is a recovery that is there. So there is no meaning in putting the stop losses. Let it recover. And in case if let's say Nifty bit recovers and then again falls back, it will make some money on the C side. Okay, that's the trade for now. And Bank Nifty, it's one-sided, so I think the fall always helps, which did. So right now, Bank Nifty gave about 8,000 or 9,000, I think. 11,000, sorry. Let's look at CDSL. CDSL gave about 22. I think there is some bit of a recovery there. Yeah, I think CDSL is okay. There is not much of a. I think Reliance is also recovering now. I'm thinking that fall was a false move. That's what I could guess, but let's see what is happening. And I have actually 1 second. Let me share my screen. I know this is a bit overwhelming, but all right. So this is HDFC. You have Reliance here. You also have the Infy. You have the TCS. So I think pretty much all the stocks are falling. That's let's look at advance and decline. So that's also, yeah, I was saying earlier 15 versus 35 is going to be a bit of a fall, which actually did happen. And 14 versus 35 now. I think one is neutral. So I think probably you can take it as 15 versus 35, which is a massive fall. That's the reason which you got to see quite a bit of a red fall there. So, all right. Where is I know this is overwhelming, but let's see what is happening. So HDFC is tracing back, and then we also have the Reliance coming back, and Infosys today it went up quite a bit. I think there is again some bit of a pullback, and then TCS also there is a pullback. But TCS can't drag too much. So these two are very important. These three are very important, the top three. So this is anyway 3 minutes. This is 30 minutes in case if you are. I think, yeah, I was talking about earlier the scalping thing, right? So this would have been a good scalping thing, which is about 24622. Anyway, we were not monitoring that point of time. So it's a lost opportunity. All right. So let me save this and then let's look at if we can draw some trend line here. I think we can draw one trend line at least. This doesn't work. Can actually draw from here. This also doesn't work. I think we'll draw till here and then see if this is going to work. Any other? Maybe if we extend this one. So as of now, I think I would think this is the bottom point from the trend line perspective. Otherwise, I think the closest I can think is this one. Yeah, I think this is probably the latest trend line. In case if this breaks, probably you can expect some more fall. As of now, as I said, I would have to take some corrective steps in case if Nifty falls below this point, 24500. I think this is the critical point from, and also there is some bit of a support zone here. I think if I go to, I think this is very overwhelming. Support and resistance. Support. No, I think it's not support. It's basically, forgot the indicator. Demand and supply, sorry. No, I think it's not clearly visible. I'll check it over the week, probably out of market hours. So, all right, I think so. Let's go back to 30 minutes for now and then see what is happening. Yeah, 30 minutes, I think it is still bearish, but overall, this is the biggest support. I think if this breaks, I think we'll probably get into a bit of a challenge. But I think otherwise the trade looks okay for now. So these are all the CE only trades for now. I'll have to see if P has recovered anyway. I think it did to some extent. All right, I think overall Nifty is in minus 25 right now. I think considering yesterday 25, I think it's still okay. I think manageable. Okay, I think I'm assuming that this Nifty probably will have some bit of a recovery. What is time now? 12:50, right? So what is happening with the European markets? Is there anything happened? The European markets not yet open, I think. They'll have to open right now. It's 1:30 p.m. Okay, it's a daylight saving, I think. Okay, already you still got some more time. Asian markets are good. Hong Kong is bad, and I think there was a China stimulation news yesterday. I think there was a thinking that it might impact the Hong Kong and Chinese markets positive, but I don't think that happened. So Shanghai Composite is, I know it's green, but it's not massively green. Nikkei is fine, and then you have Singapore is fine. I think once European markets open, we'll come to know if there is any news in the world. So right now, today's fall, I think it's basically my view. Either it could be profit booking or manipulation, one of those things. All right. I think we're left with another 4 minutes for me to log out. And if you have any questions, I will take, but otherwise, we will say bye bye for now. So global markets are pretty much okay. There is these markets. I think they'll open at 1:30, but I think if you look at Japan market and every market is quite greenish. Singapore is also green, straight times. And then yeah, Chinese market is also green, and then you have Korea. I know it got into some bit of trouble. That is also now green. These markets, I think they'll take some time to open, so we'll wait another 30 minutes, I think. Hey Shanmukh, I'm actually about to log off, Shanmukh. 5 minutes, I will be off. All right, so let's also look at Nifty now. So I think there is definitely some bit of a recovery, and if you look at this indicator, let's do 5 minutes, I think. Yeah, I think there are still more buys versus sells anyway. I think it's probably, I think we can only assume that it's a manipulation candle. So I think right now in the 15 minutes, I think if it goes below this indicator, 24,537, I think you can assume that it's going to be bearish or red close today. But I think right now it's also red, right? So 0.22% down. So let's see. So as I said, I would be worried if it goes below this line, which is 24,500. And I'm also looking at the um, I think interestingly, the synthetic future for monthly expiry is trading almost 100 points above, which is 24,650 versus 24,560. That's where it is. So I think the PE, I think we are good. So I'm also looking. PE has recovered quite a bit from 3.32, 3.42. It came to 2.6 right now, almost 1 lakh. Actually, okay, this is interesting. Max it went to 4 lakhs, I think. Let me share my trade flow. All right. So this is PE for the monthly expiry. So max, I think it went to 4 lakhs loss. And anyway, we did not close anything. So there is nothing to worry. Versus this went to max, it went to 3.5, but right now it is about 2.7. I think that's all right. So right now, as I think, I have exited the 24,900 with profit, and then 24. Right now, these are all the two trades that I have, right? So I will probably go a bit heavy on the 24,700 in case if I do not see much of a recovery later today. I think that's the only plan right now I have. So the recovery would be if it goes below 24,534, definitely I will do. I will add some more on the CE side here, 24,700. But if it goes above today's low, the prominent low was 24,590 for 24,600. I think if it goes above that, I'll not make any trades there. I think that's a plan right now. I think we're also, I believe, 1 o'clock right now, and as said, I will have to take rest and then have a great remaining day, and then bye bye.